Good afternoon. Please remain standing and remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of our alma mater. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome our Ridge Spring Monetta parents, grandparents, and all family members, local church, business, and community representatives, RSM elementary, middle, and high school faculty and staff, and especially the RSM class of 2019 graduates to the 63rd Ridge Spring Monetta High School graduation. At this time, I would like to welcome and recognize members of the Aiken County School Board. Mr. Keith Liner, Chair. Mr. Dwight Smith, Vice Chair. Mr. Jason Crane. Mr. Brian Silas. Mr. Tad Barber. Mr. Barry Moulton. Mr. Ahmed Samaha. Mrs. Sandra Shealy. And Mrs. Rosemary English. I would also like to recognize the Aiken County School District leadership team, starting with Dr. Sean Alford, our superintendent, Dr. Sean Foster, Chief Officer of Operations and Student Services, Mr. King Lawrence, Chief Officer of Administration, Mr. Trey Traxler, Chief Officer of Finance, Mrs. Jeannie Glover, Chief Officer of Instruction, Dr. Mendy Tucker, Executive Director of Elementary Schools, Mrs. Julie Reveley, Executive Director of Elementary Schools, Mrs. Phyllis Gamble, Executive Director of Middle Schools, Mr. Alvin Presley, Executive Director of High Schools, Mrs. Kate Olin, Director of Accountability and Assessment, Mrs. Mary Glenn Piccolino, Director of Communications, Mrs. Jennifer Hart, Director of Human Resources, Mrs. Christy Kanzler, Director of Federal Programs, and Mrs. Cassie Cagle, Director of Special Programs. Finally, I would like to welcome and thank our Area 4 Advisory Council members who were able to join us this afternoon. Thank you all to all of you for all you do to support Ridge Spring Monetta High School. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to Ridge Spring Monetta High School's class of 2019. Congratulations also to the many family members and friends who have joined you today to celebrate and share their joy and love for you on this special milestone in your lives. We appreciate your presence today. I know it means the world to our graduates. We're also appreciative of the community sponsors who have helped us put on these graduation ceremonies for all of our students and families. Those include presenting sponsor Rhodes Graduation Services, as well as platinum sponsors, Aiken Works and Bridgestone. Thank you so much. Best of luck to our graduates for all their future endeavors. We wish the best for you. Thank you.
At this time, we will now recognize the honor graduates of the Ridge Spring Monetta class of 2019. Students, please stand when you hear your name to be recognized and remain standing until all names are called. Audience, I ask that you please hold your applause until all of the names have been called so each honor graduate's name can be heard and recognized. Thank you. Summa cum laude, Arturo Contreras, Alexis Deasia Lee Gray, Jason Andrew Rogers, Austin Nicholas Scott. Magna cum laude, Cheyenne Cecilia Hartley, Perla Hovana Hernandez Duarte, Kelson William Palmer. Cum laude, Bailey Nicole Davis, Brenna Lee Edwards, Brendan Devage Frazier, Jennifer Gonzalez, Alfredo Cabana Mendez, Jonathan David Middlebrooks, Jason Shaquille Robinson, John Tyler Stone, Jose Estevan Valeriano, and Jerry Tyron Tyler Jr. Congratulations, honor graduates. You may be seated. We also want to take a special opportunity to recognize those students who've successfully met the South Carolina College and Career Readiness Standards. At this time, please rise if you have earned a college, career, or college and career readiness cord. Please join me in congratulating these students. You may be seated.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you. It's a privilege to stand before you on such a memorable day. Each of you have worked very, very hard to meet the expectations of your school and of our community. So for that, you should be both commended and praised. Your parents are proud of you. Your teachers are proud of you. Your friends support you, but also those of us who lead the Aiken County Public School District. We're so very proud of you, and thank you for bringing us together today. I'm going to ask you to do two things for me quickly before I sit. I'm going to ask you to help me recognize some of your peers who have made a very courageous decision, and that decision is to serve our country, our nation in the military. And I'm going to ask those students who've made that decision to please stand so that we can recognize you, please. Thank you so much. You'll be in our thoughts and prayers. We wish you Godspeed. Now, I also want you to help me recognize a group of folks who have had a significant role in you being here today. That's in addition to the people who are sitting in our stands, but what about those folks who are sitting directly behind you? I'm going to ask the faculty and staff from Ridge Spring Monetta High if you would please stand. Thank you so very much for what you do. I want to say thank you, but first I want to apologize. I want to apologize that I didn't have an opportunity to come and throw out the first pitch with you at a home baseball game this past year at night with lights. That's what we wanted. We wanted to be able to do that for you all this year. But I tell you what, we're going to invite you back. We're going to have in the Ridge Spring community a huge picnic. And we're going to do that in the early fall. And we're going to invite the entire community to come out and spend an afternoon with us. And we want you all to be there when we turn those lights on for the first time. And then we'll have to arm wrestle to see who throws out the first pitch. I want to thank you all, though. Every time you come to Ridge Spring Monetta High School, there's such a feeling of love, a spirit of collegiality. You all take care of each other. And it's not something that you see present in every high school. You treat each other with respect. You talk to each other kindly. You support each other in every way. And for that, I want to thank you. I want to ask you, though, to take that spirit of love with you beyond the walls of Ridge Spring High School, Ridge Spring Monetta High School, because we need that. We need that in every community. We need that in every corner of our society. We need folks just like you who are willing to embrace people who are not like themselves, who may not look like you look, or even believe the same things you believe. That spirit is present in your school. That spirit is present in you. So I want to thank you for being leaders in that regard. Thank you for the way you embrace everyone and make them feel welcomed and a part of your family. So I'll say that in closing, don't ever forget, you will always be a Trojan. You'll always be a Trojan. With that in mind, come back to see us. If there's anything that we can ever do to help you in your life pursuits, please don't hesitate to call on us. We're here for you. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2019. God bless you.
Good afternoon. You did it, class of 2019. Very nice job. I just want to leave you with a short piece of advice. There's a song by Metallica called Nothing Else Matters. Some of you may know the lyrics. Maybe some of the folks in the audience know the lyrics. It goes something like this. So close, no matter how far, couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trust in who we are, and nothing else matters. Put another way, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Or for the millennials in the group, stay in your lane, bro. The outside world is going to toss you around, but if you remember that small piece of advice, you'll always be at peace on the inside, and really nothing else matters. On behalf of Ms. Shealy, Ms. English, Mr. Silas, and Mr. Crane with me here today, and all the others, members of the Board of Education, we offer you congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed. Thank you.
RSM Trojan class of 2019. To say I'm a proud principal today would be a major understatement. The successes and achievements we have celebrated together over the last 4 years, and especially the last few weeks, are second to none. From athletics to fine arts, agriculture to HOSA, dual enrollment classes to AP stresses, real life conversations, and some tears when meeting with myself and Mrs. Smith, to Friday night chants from Coach Lipsy, and to pep talks, for lack of a better word, from Coach Doda, these last 4 years have been special. As you leave here today as RSM alumni and young adults ready to embark on the next adventure, be it in college, a career, or in life in general, it's a comforting feeling for me to know that you are equipped to meet any adversity you'll face head on as a graduate of Ridge Spring Monetta High School. There's no debating that life can sometimes be difficult and things may not always be perfect, but there's a reason sacrifice has its rewards. Determination and fortitude is what it takes to achieve and advance, and this class has shown that over their 4 years of high school. We are, as Dr. Alford said a couple minutes ago, a tight-knit family that showcases Trojan spirit in all that we do, wherever we are and wherever we will go. Always be the best you and show Trojan pride at all times. Thank you to everybody here today. There's no experience like the one we have on the Ridge. We are lucky to have such a passionate community to support these graduates, and we are blessed to be able to celebrate some of the finest students in Aiken County and in South Carolina. Thank you, graduates.
There it is. Yep. Thanks. Good afternoon to the teachers, faculty and staff, other distinguished guests, and of course, my fellow classmates that sit before me. Let me begin by thanking a few people. I'd first like to thank my classmates for supporting me, believing in me, and above all, thanks for the good times. They have stuck with me through thick and thin, and I'll look forward to returning the favor. I would also like to thank my parents for standing by my side and helping me through my struggles in life, such as getting me out of bed at 7 o'clock every morning. I also need to thank my brother. He's always had my back. I'll always have his back no matter what, because that's what brothers do. I also have to give a short shout to my boy Krim over there, mainly because he asked. I've had his class for every year of my high school career, and he's always checking to see if I'm okay every time I don't show up to school. He does that a lot. Most importantly, I would like to thank God for blessing me with those people in my life. Faith tells me that no matter what lies ahead of me, God is already there. If you learn to accept that in your heart, you'll be all right. He has been there every step of the way, and he will continue to do so in the future. It is crazy to think how far we came from freshman year to now graduating. A lot has happened in those 4 years, some worth mentioning, others not so much. I can tell you one thing that I witnessed in those 4 years. I witnessed a group of individuals that had no relations between them and overcame diversity who became a family. I had the privilege to be a part of that family. We have lost family along the way, but they never are truly gone in our hearts. They're still riding with us everywhere we go. One thing is for certain, that this family will never be torn apart. This moment right here is just yet another pit stop for the journey called life. We have the rest of our lives to live, careers to pursue, dreams to capture, promises to keep, and maybe someday a family of our own. Some of us may be scared of all those things from happening. You need not be afraid. Someone once said, when the journey ahead seems bleak, do not forget to look behind you and see all you have survived already. After today, graduates, you can say that I did it, that I beat the odds, that I did what others said I couldn't do. However, we're not done yet. We still have to put our stamp on this world. Those dreams each one of us have must not be taken lightly. People say dreams are not linked to reality. I beg to differ. In order to make this happen, it takes you to make that dream a reality. Your hard work, determination, and dedication are what make dreams possible. Dreams come bigger and small, but no matter the size, they require one key factor: you. A dream may be considered far-fetched. However, some of the most successful people in the world had dreams that seemed far-fetched, that seemed impossible. Steve Jobs with Apple, Bill Gates with Microsoft, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, Elon Musk with SpaceX and Tesla. The list goes on. No matter how crazy a dream is, do not be afraid to shoot for the stars and believe in your dream. The following people I just mentioned believed in their dreams, and look where they are today. Now, I agree, no one is going to be perfect in achieving these goals. I can assure you that. Nevertheless, everyone has the ability to wake up one day and say, I'm going to make something of myself. Life is like a road. There's always going to be bumps in them. You can either dodge them or deal with them head on. Not everybody's road is freshly paved. Most of my classmates can testify to that one. On this road, you're going to find people who want to keep you from your destination. You have to just never give up on yourself and drive on. The will to survive is in all of us, and with it, you can do anything. Driving on this road, you're always going to need repairs to help you get back on track. Your pit crew is our parents, our friends, our family, our mentors. You cannot do everything by yourself. You need that support system. The people in these stands are that support system. Let me tell you a story of a man who invited 14 of his closest friends one night to thank them. A briefcase was waiting for each one, and each one of the briefcases held $1 million. He wanted to express his appreciation to them for sticking with him throughout the years, even before he was known as one of the most famous actors in the world. His name was George Clooney. The moral of this story is that you should never lose appreciation for the ones who supported your dreams. Never lose sight of your friends, and like George Clooney, I'll be sure not to forget you. But as also Scott, I'll be sure to always be there. That is what family does for each other. Each of us have a part to play in this world. And maybe a scary thought to think that we millennials will be running the country one day. But I think you're going to be impressed to see what we have to offer this great nation of ours. This is the future of America I want to see. Because you already know, we millennials stay woke. We stay woke. The future is great, but this moment right here is eternal. I'm going to miss everyone here. And if I don't get to see any